Good morning traders, and welcome to this week's weekly market analysis, Monday the 25th of May. Let's have a look at the week that was. Well, the euro was the best performing currency for the week. It did peak breaking at 110. That's the euro USD pair, of course. It did retrieve back from that. At the moment, currently trading at 109. That I guess sentiment was due to the easing of the lockdown restrictions throughout Europe. Investors have taken heart to that, and of course the euro has performed well. It was the best performing currency for the week. Our own Aussie dollar also had a good week, slow and steady. We continued to make higher highs and higher lows. We did peak at 66. It's running steady. We will have a closer look at our own Aussie USD pair very shortly. The ASX 200 seems to be breaking out of a consolidation zone, now trading at around about the 55.70. We'll take a closer analysis of that and to see where it perhaps can go, as of course all the equity markets continue to try and recover those losses from the COVID-19 fallout earlier in March and April. Also, we have a look at gold. Gold was a bit of a neutral one, had a steady or a rapid rise early in the week, only to fall back towards the later part of the week. And in the end, it finished pretty much where it started. That was gold. The focus this week that was, and coming weeks to happen now, is the US-China tensions and the situation that's happening over there. Of course, the geopolitical light is definitely shining in these regions of the world. China has taken, or is about to take, or they've announced they want to take a strong stance against any anti-political protests in Hong Kong. This, of course, has created fear throughout the markets, as it could be an opportunity for the US to now restrict those special trade agreements that they have with Hong Kong. Now, we have seen in recent weeks that the US has imposed or they've threatened to delist Chinese companies from exchanges, also restrict new Chinese companies from listing in exchanges, and of course cap American investments into Chinese investment vehicles. So this is all happening. The tension is heating up, and of course let's not forget the tariff situation between the US-China. So this is creating a somewhat of a hot tension. It is affecting the markets. It's affected the US. Our own Australian dollar has been affected by this. And of course, we also had the situation last week between China and Australia, where China imposed increased tariffs on our barley, and they're looking at other commodities as well. So it's all quite a little bit tense at the moment. How will this affect our currency markets this week? Now, if we have a look at history in previous times, we have seen situations like this. There's a lot of threat, and the real price to pay for both the US and China is greater for China. So perhaps they're just empty words at this stage, and let's see what really actually happens from that. That was the week that was. This week coming is definitely a lighter week in terms of data. Monday is Memorial Day in the US, so it's a public holiday, so markets are still open. That's the Forex markets, but definitely the volumes will be significantly lower than what is a normal trading day. Let's jump into our analysis. Let's have a look at our majors in depth, and let's see what we can decipher for this week. All right, as I bring up my charts, let's kick off with our own Aussie dollar. And as I mentioned before, we can see that our Aussie dollar has been rising steadily after that decline from the panic and the fear and the fallout of COVID-19. And last week I was looking at this and I was trying to see if I could find an opportunity in one of these dips to see if we could have any kind of price action reversal so that we could take advantage of that. We didn't quite get that perfect opportunity. This week I'm going to be looking for the same thing. I can notice here that the market it made a higher high compared to that one, and these lows are getting higher as well. So what I'm looking for is I would like to see some kind of price action develop maybe over these two candles. The little blue one, that's this morning's candle. We're only about an hour and a half into formation there. If we could produce the price action reversal there, then we would be happy to take a trend continuation type trade. All right, so at the moment, the recovery for the Aussie-US pair is good. Of course, a lot of our performance depends on what's happening between the US and China. Of course, we are dependent on China for a lot of our services and for them buying our exports. And of course, this is the Aussie-US pair, so we are affected by the US directly in the cross correlation of the currencies. All right, so there you have it. That's our Aussie dollar this morning. Let's see what develops from that. But the game plan here is let's try and see if we can find a price action in here of reversal so that we can continue into the trade as such. All right, let's move along. Let's have a look at our Euro USD. Now, I've had these levels drawn in my charts that remind me of what I was thinking. This level here seems to be holding. I marked this one as the low from the big fallout. But what I'm noticing now as well, and I want to draw this in, just give me one moment, is I'm noticing that there is another level developing over here. Let me just mark it out. And it's kind of giving us an opportunity to do some trading inside a channel. We can see that the market's bounced off there once, twice, and a third time. And likewise, we've been holding the bottom side quite firm. So the market seems to be trading inside this range at the moment. Now, until it breaks away in either direction, then I will continue to look for trading opportunities on the fringes. Now, unfortunately for us right now, we are right in the middle, so there's nothing really that I want to do at this level. But what I will look for is I will look for opportunities here and here. So I'm looking for reversal patterns to occur in these regions so that I can take trades back towards the center of the channel. So let me just extend this one out a little bit more so that I know what I'm looking for. And this particular channel looks nice. It looks nice to my eye. I'm quite comfortable with it. Let's see if it can actually give us a trading opportunity. Okay, so Euro USD, we're looking for reversal on the fringes of that channel, and let's see if we can get something out of that. US yen. Okay, the US yen at the moment continues to trade around that middle level that I've marked out. Let me extend that out. Okay, so what I mean by that is, look, in the beginning, the trade, I was looking for that bouncing ball type effect and for it to shoot down, but it hasn't been able to do that. And in fact, what's happened is we're trading around that line. So it seems to be like some kind of a medium. I don't have any levels or any key levels to work off. Really, this line here is absolutely useless to me, but I'm just keeping it there just to remind me of what my thought pattern was when I first saw this chart. So look, right now, it's a chart that I don't want to participate in. Let's see if it starts to move away in this direction or if in fact it starts to come down over here. We need it to move away and settle into some kind of established pattern before we can look for any trading opportunities on this one. So for now, the US yen is a no-go for us. We'll just leave it alone and let's move along to the next chart. The cable, pound USD. All right, I drew these this falling channel last week on the chart, and we did come down to this level and it did kick off, but unfortunately we didn't actually get a price action reversal to occur in this zone. So we haven't been able to take advantage of that particular situation as it stands. So look, what I can see happening here is it could come down again and give us another opportunity to try and trade there, or it could push towards this side, and then when we get to the other side of the channel, we will look for an opportunity to trade back down in this direction. Channels are ones that I really like. They have a relatively high probability, and when you double it up with waiting for price action to confirm on those fringes or in those hot zones, they tend to be much more successful. Okay, so let's leave that one. That's our game plan. We're looking for trade back into the center of the channel, and let's see if we get an opportunity to do that. US CAD. Okay, I marked this one out last week, and I also posted it up as one of the charts of the day in the daily call throughout the week. I don't know if it was Wednesday or Tuesday, but go back and have a look. But what I actually posted up was this. Let me mark it out for you. I'll highlight it. We were looking for a setup. We actually got the setup in those two candles there. And consequently, what's happened is we've actually shot up. Now, for some of you, you may have hit your target. It was very, very close. It got as high as plus 90 pips. The stop would have been around about 90, 95, depending on how you set it up. You may have hit your target. If not, you're still in the trade well ahead. And let's see if it can continue to push to hit that target. At the moment, that trade's already gone by. So we either have already had a winning trade on the US CAD, or you are still in a live open position waiting for your target. Okay, the top level will extend it out. Let's see if it continues to hold, but definitely the bottom level looks really nice, and we did call that one out. Go back, have a look. So let's see how this one continues to play out. So for the time being, if this continues, if it was to push up this far, of course we're going to look for the trade back down into the channel. If it continues to fall here, let's see, we'll assess this one when it gets to this point over here, because if depends on how high it goes, we could be forming, let me just draw it loosely. Okay, so for example, if it gets to there and comes back down, we could be starting to trade inside a converging triangle. Okay, I've kept this line up here to remind myself what I'm thinking, but I'm also aware, and I have to be able to adjust my strategy as things develop. So what I might actually do is I might actually draw in that line as well so that it reminds me. There we go. Okay, so at the very least, if I was in this trade long, I know that I still got space to get up there to hit my targets if I haven't already hit my targets. And as I said, that depends on where you've placed your stop. Okay, all right, so that's the US CAD. For those of you who took that one, well done. Let's move along. Let's have a look at the Kiwi USD. Okay, Kiwi USD, very similar, but in the opposite direction. Let me just slightly shift this top level here and extend it out. And let me see. All right, I'm noticing that this top level has been to the same time 3 times and it's kicked away. Okay, so it's not a channel, it's not a perfect channel or anything like that. I've purely got this level here just to remind me of what a future support level might be, and just to remind me what I was thinking at the time. So don't take this one as a channel. The top level, however, is somewhat of resistance. We can clearly see that there's 3 times, and this one was close. So if you include that one, there's 4 times that we've come to that level and it's kicked off. It appears to me that we may be attempting to push through that. So this particular chart, let's watch it. If anything comes good of it, I will definitely look at it and post it on my daily charts as a chart of the day. All right, so for right now, there's no game plan on this one. If anything, some of you may actually be short on this particular trade because there is a reversal pattern over those 2 candles there. And if you took that trade, you would have entered around about there, and you are short and you are about neutral. Okay, but if you're not, let's just keep it on hold and let's see what develops on this particular one. All right, let's move on to oil WTI. Okay, it continues to, steadily, slowly just grind away, trying to get some confidence back into the markets, some of those losses that have come back. Look, it's going to be a while before I look at anything in oil. I'm just purely showing it to you out of interest so that we all know what's happening with this particular instrument. It's one that I don't want to do anything, especially not now. There is just nothing there. You can see by the little candles and just the lack of interest from many traders globally. So let's just leave this one alone and let's move along. All right, shifting our attention to the equities market and looking at our own ASX 200, we can see here, first of all, let me just extend this level out. We can see that we are threatening to break away. As I mentioned earlier, it's a little bit more confidence coming back into equities, and it feels like we're threatening to push away and to try and get back somewhere towards these highs that we had pre-COVID-19. Now, will that happen? Look, it may take a long time. I don't know. I only trade what I see. At the moment, the only thing that I can see is if this was to pull up a little bit, come back and give me some kind of a reversal pattern at that region there, that would give me the confidence to take a trade in the long direction as such. So essentially what I'm looking for is for it to break up a little bit more, pull back into what was previous resistance, and then give me the opportunity to trade off that new floor as support in the upward direction. Okay, I think at this point in time, I will continue to leave that bottom line in my chart. It's not really doing anything there. I'm just keeping it there just to monitor, but really this line is the one that I'm interested in, this top one over here. All right, final one for the week is gold. We were tracking what could have been a potential channel, and as I said, this week gold went up, shot up earlier in the week and then shot back down, and then basically ended where we started. With gold, I think I can remove these lines now. So this one's no good to me anymore. I'll get rid of this one as well. And in fact, what I'm seeing with gold is this high is higher than that one, okay? The low, if we can produce price action across these two candles right here, which actually we have produced it, that was Friday's candle, which basically means this little red one, which is today's candle, if this was to break the inside, Friday's inside candle in this direction, that could be a valid trade. Okay, so there you have it on gold. If for those of you who are interested, we do have a setup. You can place a pending order just at the break of the inside candle. We can place our stop just below here, and then what we're actually attempting to do is to continue in the trend. Okay, the trend has not been broken. My moving averages are still quite separated. They haven't crossed over. We have made a higher high, and if this level holds, that low is higher than these lows, so that would make it point all the things to the right direction and a correct setup. So let's leave, so for gold we can place our pending order, and let's see how that one plays out for us. That pretty much wraps up the analysis part of this week, which leads me to a chart of the day. Let me see what I can find for you. Okay, the chart that I have found this morning is ANZ Kiwi dollar daily time frame. Now, I did show this one, I think Thursday or Friday last week, and I was looking for a setup. We were on that candle when I showed it to you, but what happened in the meantime is this next candle shot lower, so it basically spoiled the setup. But now we have another opportunity to get it. This little blue one, that's this morning's. Can we produce an inside candle out of these two? And can we produce that reversal pattern? If we can, it's all systems go, and we can take a long trade in trend continuation. Okay, that's the Aussie Kiwi. Clearly here we can see that our highs are getting higher and our lows are also getting higher as well. So we are stepping up, and that's the definition of a trend. Okay, so if we can produce the reversal right here, as I've marked out on those two, on the highlighted candles there, it's all systems go, and we are ready to take a trade. All right, let's wrap up and let's have a look at what's the highlights for this week. There's not a whole lot of data to come out this particular week, but we do have the RBNZ Financial Stability Report. Locally from Australia, we have the private capital expenditure. From the US, we have GDP numbers, and from Canada, we also have GDP numbers. That pretty much wraps up the session. Guys, as always, please feel free to contact us. Follow me on Twitter at ChatFX for trade setups and breaking news. Most importantly, hope you all have a fantastic trading week. Have a great trading day, and I will speak to you tomorrow for the daily call, but I'll speak to you next week for the weekly market analysis. Bye for now.